Well, a very good afternoon, evening, not so sure. Everyone, welcome to another FlyJSim live stream today. It's 7th of May 2023. It's 18 minutes past 4 in United Kingdom. We're back in X-Plane 12. We're back in the excellent FlyJSim Dash 8 Q400. We've been flying the Microsoft FlyJSim ATR version. I just wanted to jump back into this one, which is one of my favourite turboprops in any aircraft. Another reason as well, there's an approach I want to fly, and that's Lugano. It's been requested quite a few times by members, quite a few times by regular subscribers, and I need an aeroplane that can fly into Lugano, and the Dash 8 is equipped to fly this 6.65 degree IGS approach onto runway 01. However, looking at the latest wind, we might end up doing a circle to land, but we'll have to see what's going on when we get there later on. We're currently in Italia, in Rome Ciampino, an airport just to the south of Rome, I believe, a major hub for Ryanair. They have a lot of flights in and out of this airport. Flights are around 1 hour and 10 minutes live time, live weather, clear skies here over in Lugano in Switzerland. Nice weather, as I said. The wind's now coming in a little bit from the south, so it will be a tailwind for this steep approach, which will not help. A few showers around as well. Latest version of X-Plane, latest version of the FlyJSim. Latest beta version of Active Sky, which I'm going to start using now in X-Plane 12 streams moving forward. But I hope you're all having a lovely bank holiday weekend if you're in the UK. I hope you all enjoyed watching the King Charles's coronation yesterday. I enjoyed it greatly, watching it from my lounge here in the UK. Anyway, let's zoom on in towards the aircraft. Let's see who we've got here in chat. Zach Renfrey's here. I'm sure you'll know that airport well. Gabriel says, ciao, hello to you. Thanks for your message as well, Gabriel. All sorted, all sorted. Thank you very much. Edo says, hi everyone, I hope you're doing very well. Daniel B, 6.65 degrees. Oof. The only one I know that's steeper is the 20 degrees for the space shuttle. I think this is one of the steepest in the world. There might be one in the US. It's a little steeper, perhaps. Andy H1302 saying, good afternoon, Alpaca Lad. Hello, hope you're doing well. The 146, yeah, maybe the 146 could have got in here. I did think about taking the ATR, Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I could barely hold the speed on a 3 degree ILS. I don't think it would, in its current build, be able to cope too well on this approach. Might be wrong, because I think one of the members tried it earlier. Dono Mosine, I think it might have been you. I hope you're doing well. I wonder how many times he'll forget outsell. Yeah, probably several times today. I thought I was running late. I am. Yes, sorry for the slight delay there. Yes, my girlfriend and I took check out for a lovely long walk. Got back, I was like, well, I'm going to be a bit stressed out to make 4 o'clock, so I thought I'd just push it back by 15 minutes. Sort of simulating that Jim was a little stuck in security with some contraband. Nightbot is in op. Yes, I was just tasting that turnaround. It seems to be working now. It takes a couple of minutes for the stream to start for it to work. I tried it with the PC specs because someone was asking about my PC specs, so hopefully that's answered that question there. Rabh, it would be a nightmare slowing the ATR down. Yes, I think the real ATR might struggle. I don't know if it can or not. I tried the Baby Bus 318 into that airport. It's very difficult. Yeah, I don't think that would be certified to fly into the approach, but I'll do my absolute best to follow the real world approach procedures based off the chart, all the information it says there. I'd like to land on 01, and I think you can do it up to a certain tailwind, but anything sort of more than 5-6 knots, we're actually going to struggle to manage the energy on the approach there. You've got to come in dirty, you've got to be fully configured, gear, flaps, everything, otherwise the speed will run away here. Did you know the props on this plane are manufactured by Doughty Propellers based in the UK? I didn't, Scott Morgan, but you learn something new every day. One of the members then, G-Face, yeah, ATR 161 feet per minute. Yeah, the best I've got is an adequate landing, minus 300. A few wasted on the practice sectors, but yes, we've done a couple of practice sectors. Always seems to be okay. Excellent. Right, we've jumped into the cockpit, as I said, completely cold and dark. What we'll do, we'll get the batteries on now. Standby power, auxiliary battery, main battery, battery master switch. Actually, we don't have the external power connected, so I'll go down here. We'll press that to connect GPU. It's basically right. FlyJSim love a loud GPU. It's the same with their classics. They always have a loud GPU. So what I'll do, I'll turn the sound down slightly until we get rid of the GPU, and now we'll put the external power on. There we are. That's now connected. And for this flight, we're taking a full load of passengers, you know, to up the ante. Nice high gross weight on this steep approach. I like to challenge myself here. So 78 passengers, quarter of the cargo is loaded, so 430 kilos in the main cargo hold. I've pre-filled all this prior to the start of the stream. We're taking an extra 30 minutes of fuel in case I go around. There's the zero fuel weights there. I love this little load summary here. Look, you can see if you go here, all the information you need. You pre-populate this, will tell you how much fuel you need, how much, what height's the best height to cruise at, your CG, etc, etc. Press confirm load, start loading, and it'll load each individual passenger, open the doors for you, disconnect the GPU when it's appropriate to. It's a really nice feature, and you can see that as the doors open, you pop outside, look, you can see, look, they've all opened up here, the rear doors opening as well, and Golf Delta Alpha Sierra Hotel. And you'll see the passengers start coming up, and they're all assigned different names. The fuel cart will be connected as well in a good time. So firstly, a couple of membership pings here. Firstly, Luke Zupan, welcome aboard as a member. Glad you're enjoying the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. I hope you enjoy using the custom emojis in chat as well. Thank you very much for popping in. Was there another one? Yes, Realms, 3 months as a member. Thank you very much. He goes, afternoon Captain, afternoon to you. Thank you very much for tuning in to another live stream. Matthew Presley, what do you mean a GPU doesn't sound like a Soviet-era diesel engine from the cockpit? You're up the 7.3 in your new 7.6. You don't usually hear it unless the FO cranks open the window. But yeah, it is pretty old and loud here. Not so good for streaming, let's say. So we've got the power all on here. We'll just start up here on the overhead panel. So pitot static and window heat. We don't need the window heat today. It says don't select it on if it's greater than 20 degrees. It's 22 degrees here in Rome. Rest is all set. Imagine the fault fire test's done. We don't need the lighting on. We'll put the position light on, which it already is. The air conditioning's all set. We'll arm the emergency exit lights. We've not fueled yet, so I'll leave the fasten seatbelt sign off, but the no smoking light can come on. We'll test the master caution system. There we are. Make sure the lights are set to bright as well. Perfect. Let's turn on all of the monitors and screens. So PFD, turn this up. MFD, FMS, powering on FMS 1. There we are. FMS 2. Where's the on button? These are such well, I don't like these FMSs. I know how to set it up after making loads of notes from all the times I've streamed it, but it's so different to Airbus and Boeing. It takes some time to get it all set there. Middle displays on. We'll put this to both, and we'll put this to both as well. So all the FMSs are on, and let it all power up there. We'll preset the MCP as well. Maturity, 22 degrees, pretty cold. Hey, that's warm for us Brits. That's lovely there. Domino I love the UNS1. It's old school FMS there. Very, very old school. Perfect. So they're all booting up. FMS is doing its it's like a Windows 1995. Look, it's doing all its tests here, but it's a very well modelled FMS thanks to one of the devs, Amy, who's been a member on the channel in the past. Who's made a really epic FMS here, or UNS I think it's called. Perfect. Now we could expect, as everything powers up here, lighting's just changed in the sim, show a little bit about where we are. So here's Europe, we're in Italy, the capital Rome. We'll be taking off from runway 15 here in Rome Ciampino. Typical Italy, it's 2 SIDs, it's a transition, an Ostia transition, then we're going to do a Giglio SID. There's where it terminates at Giglio. Beautiful routing today over Elba, over the Mediterranean, right over Geneva, and you'll have all the Alps coming into view as we just descended to Switzerland, right at the border here with Italy. All Orphe 4 XP installed for this sector as well. So departing off runway 15, the wind is favouring 15 as well, so the runway QDM is 149 degrees. We'll just set up the MCP now before we do the FMS. So 149 degrees on the heading. 149 courses, we'll just set that to the runway heading 149 and course 149. Oops, that's the heading bug, which I've already set. And we'll just tune the ILS just in case we have to come straight back in. It's something to tune. It's an RNAV SID we're flying today. The ILS frequency, looking at the chart, is 11055, so that's active on box 1 and coming up active on box 2. Yeah, we're going to have some serious planning today. I don't know if there's any Lugano experts. I looked on Flight Radar. Everyone's been landing actually on the circle to land today. So I quite like to do the steep approach to a landing because it's epically challenging. Whereas the circle to land is on the localizer. It's a little bit shallow and it's just a 3-degree path onto the circle. So we might just take the tailwind unless there's ATC. The SID stop altitude, it doesn't have one, so I'll just set 6,000 feet. There's no ATC here or any events going on, so we'll just set 6,000 feet. Rest is all set for now. Anti-skid, we'll turn that on, reset the master caution. Now let's load up this archaic flight management computer. Just Flight is supposedly almost ready to release the same FMS UNS for the 146 in Microsoft Flight Sim next week. Looking forward to it. I'll keep an eye out on that. Yeah, Hudson Market is a 6-knot tailwind for 01. Oh, I could probably do it, and it does say, we'll look at the charts later, but it does say you can accept a tailwind onto 01 based off the aircraft's tailwind limit for a steep approach. I have no idea what that is for a Dash 8, but well, if someone could find that out, that'd be great. Right, so latest database installed, that expires on the 17th of May. We'll accept that. Here's all the routing information. So firstly, I'm going to go to flight plan. It says Ciampino. We're going to put our destination now, which is Lima Sierra Zulu Alpha. Zulu Alpha. Enter. Accept. So we've got departure and arrival in. I think there's many different ways you could do this. This is the way it's always worked for me. You then go to menu. Departure. Just confirm there's no ATC here. There's Fiumicino online, but that's the wrong airport. We're going to depart runway 15. You see it says Giulio 5 Victor, but it's Italy. You have to select the transition first. So I've just gone for this one. I just randomly chose the Ostia 5 X-ray. So we're going to do this transition to Ostia. And then from Ostia, which is here, it'll be the Giulio 5 Victor. So Ostia 5 X-ray is number 5. And then we can select the Giulio 5 Victor number 2. Enter. Flight plan. So there we go. Let's put the routing in. We then select no link. And then once you've done that, press list. And then we want airways. So from Giulio, we're going to go to airways. Giulio, it's a Mike 621, so number 1. To Beten, number 2. Enter. No link again. And menu, no, not, oh, I always get this wrong, so it's no link, flight plan, select no link, and then list. There we are. Oh look, they're closing the doors. I think boarding's complete. From Beten then, it's going to be Mike 729, number 2, to Genoa, it's number 3, no link is selected, list, from Genova, Mike 858, number 3.
Minimums. Approaching
to
minimums.
VOG, number 12, when that's the arrival. Enter. Right, we now need to go to menu. Arrivals. A VOG 6 Lima. What we're going to do, we're going to plan for 01. 10 knot for maximum tailwind limit. Oh, we'll go for 01 then. It's more funny, you want to see me smash it down anyway. So runway 01. VOG 6 Lima, number 8, and it's no transition, and it's going to be IGS approach, number 2, not the Caldo transition. Okay, should be all in now. Now I need to delete all the discontinuities, so you can see we've got Pinnock. We'll clear the no link, and we will have 2 Pinnocks. Because one is where the flight plan terminates, and also Pinnock is the beginning of the ILS. So what we'll do, we'll delete this Pinnock as well. So if we look here, we've got the full routing in. We'll just check the last bit, which is the important part on the legs page. Not legs page, the flight plan. So you can see we go VOG, Malpensa, Pinnock. VOG, Malpensa, Pinnock, and then it's straight onto the ILS, which is via Caldo, and then the 5.44 DME, etc, etc. So I'm happy the FMS routing is loaded. You don't need to execute it or anything like that. We just need to do the fuel, which will load up in a second. I'll just check here in chat. Kator, 29 months as a member. Thank you very much. Over 3 years. Notice from dispatch, Jim is in op, so no big change. Thank you very much, Kator. Not only for being a member for 3 years, but providing good laughs as well. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, I thought Jim's been all over the place, but rip Brian from last stream as well. We're not doing a pushback today, so if you missed last stream, we had to execute Brian. His tug got stuck, and we ended up terminating him. So he's gone elsewhere. Lawrence had the tab open waiting for the intro but didn't realise I had YouTube muted. Oh, I've been here the whole time. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for popping in. You're all debating about the approach into Lugano. The real question is who will push us out of the stand today? Well, we're self-positioned here. Isn't the Dash 8 approved for land with quite crazy tailwind? I remember one captain speaking about it in one of his YouTube videos. I've tried it with 10 knot tailwind. I can do it. So I think we'll just go with the tailwind. But I was looking at what aircraft have landed at Lugano. They've all done the circle. It's a 6 knot tailwind for 0 on. Is that the limit? Tailwind plus 6 degree slope. What could go wrong? I know 2 tons. What could possibly go wrong? We'll have to see. This will be I don't. Oliver Taylor, you couldn't do it in a 7.3. You go flat 40, drop the gear, but you wouldn't be able to manage the speed. You need an aircraft like this, the ATR, BizJets, which would have some sort of special approval. I don't know how they do it there. Right. So let's look at the operational flight plan for the fuel. So as I said, I'm taking a little bit of extra. I think the OFP says we're burning about a tonne an hour this aircraft, so 1 tonne an hour. 2.3 tonnes, I've whacked on 30 minutes, so that's 2.8 tonnes. And if you look here at the gauges, look, you'll see 2.8, 1,400 kilos aside. So we'll go here to fuel. So we need to select fuel on board. 2.8 exactly. Oops. That's in. If we look here, we can get the actual 0 fuel weight. We've got a full load of passengers and their bags, 24,492, which is pretty much what I've got in the flight plan. So 0 fuel weight's in, and the holding fuel, that's your last 30 minutes of fin res, 434 kilos. The alternate fuel to get to our alternate, which is Milan Bergamo, is 405 kilos. Perfect. I'll leave it as it is. We've got a bit of extra, but I won't put that in. I'll just leave it like that. So that's done. And that's all you need to do in the FMS. The performance is great on this add-on because all you need to do is select... Where's the click spots around here somewhere? Where is it? I can't remember where it is. I'm clicking around like a madman. Maybe I have to start the engines first. But, there, I found it. It's based off your flap speed, so flap 5 it uses by default. If you select a different flap setting, it'll update the speeds. But V1's 128, VR's 128, V2's 131. Perfect. Guys, that's pretty much everything we need to do to set up this beast. There isn't much to it. We don't need to start the APU. We've only been streaming for 20 minutes. Let's just brief the taxi and Sid, just see if there's, again, any ATC. There isn't. So... we're going to start the engines on this stand here, which is stand 105, taxi out via Sierra Alpha, left turn onto Alpha, and Alpha for departure, runway 15. The transition's the Ostia 5 X-ray, so we'll just go to the flight plan page. Climbing straight ahead to 1,500 feet on the 5 X-ray, so we've got 1,500 feet, so then it's going to be right turn, course 307 to RA508, 307, RA508, max 210, 2,500 feet, no issue in this aircraft. Then there's a left turn 266 to RA506, got 265, that's fine. Our restrictions are all in. 3,500 to 5,000 feet, and I've just set 6,000 as a stop altitude. We can actually put Ostia on standby at 14.9, the VOR, and we can back that up as we go around the corner. So that's on standby, just tuning it with my radio tuning panel. Perfect. All set then. Right, I think we're ready to go. We just need to run through the checklist, make sure I've not got anything misconfigured. Probably have. So recirc fan can come on. Excuse me, I've got a little switch look at my nose. That's better. External check completed. Jim did that. Alternate gear doors, landing gear inhibit switch close and all. Now this aircraft, it's expensive, but it's very well modelled. All the circuit breakers are modelled. I've played around with it. It actually does fail the respective system. You've got your gear pins here. That's where Jim puts his rough diamonds. It closes here. You've got your alternate gear extension. Look, you press this pole here and it plonks it in. It's really well modelled. I love it. You know, oops. Well, I hope I hope that's not. I hope I've not broken anything by doing that. We'll close that door. Hopefully, I'll be able to retract the gear after departure. You know, it's a well-modelled aircraft if it has a functioning toilet. Not only does it have a functioning toilet, you can lift the lid. You can lift this lid if you want to do a number 1, and also, best of all, a flushing toilet. There you go. Yeah, all the window blinds work. You can open all the cargo holds. This all works. Very, very nice. Very well modelled. Love all this sort of stuff. Right, we best close the flight deck door though. Oh, got things binging in there, slamming doors. Oh, I'm concerned I have a number of master cautions going off there by manipulating things. I think it's all the usual stuff for the engines being off. No, we're okay. There's a small toy plane in there, is there? Only thing that matters is the toilet, absolutely. ATR's got nothing on this. No, the ATR's great, and it's cheap as well. Was it 5-6 times cheaper than this? But obviously this is a very well-modelled, high-detailed aircraft. I think they've got a number of updates to come though, and it's not still fully. I thought it was fully compatible with X-Plane 12. It sort of is, and it is downloaded, but not sort of finished getting everything across. So some people have been telling me about the flight models. It needs tweaking still a little bit, sort of like the Z-Boat model in a way. But for me, it looks very nice here. Feral Demon, do you not need to put your cruise level in the FMS? You can't. It's a very, very basic FMS look. The way it's depicted here is correct as well. It's not pretty like in an Airbus or a 737. It's just straight lines. Very, very simple. Right, so flight deck preparation completed. We've done our briefings. Circuit breakers are all in. Passenger signs, they can come on. Where are they? On. Emergency exit lights armed. I think I did that. Yes, I did. Anti-skid is definitely on. Fuel transfer quantity. Yep, we checked. We've got sufficient. Emergency brake pressure checked. Power levers are disconnected. Fuel off. Takeoff data we've reviewed. So batteries are all on. Door fueling lights are out. AP bleed is off. Getting ready for engine start, so anti-collision lights are red. The sounds on this add-on are absolutely epic as well. Really like them. Engine's cleared for start, and then it's the start procedure. So we're all ready to go. So we'll turn this up here. Disconnect the GPU. Now, unlike the ATR where you've got to fiddle around and stuff, you can actually disconnect the GPU, and it stays as it is. You don't get any weird tripping of AC power. The battery, I guess, can just leave it as it is, which is pretty nice. There's the fuel truck. Just make sure I'm on Unicom here as well. Don't need to tune in about the engine start, but I'll advise when I'm taxiing. We've got a few aircraft around us actually. We've got ATRs, we've got one with the engines running there already, and Alpaca Airways Canada aircraft. Right, so engine start's pretty simple. We're going to go to select engine number 2. We just move it to start. As soon as you get an NH, you put the fuel lever to feather. The prop animations are all correct as well. They feather, they move, they look great when they're spinning. Looks really, really realistic. I mean, I've commuted on FlyJSim Dash a lot, and the sounds are just like you're in the aircraft. I think it's just windmilling there as well. Okay, so that's a good start on engine number 2. Let's start engine number 1. We need both feathered to start with. So we've got an H, fuel coming on engine number 1. We'll monitor the start inside here. So we've got oil pressure. RPM's all looking good. I don't know at which point you actually state the engine stabilised. I guess it's when the select switch moves back to the middle position. These are the best sounds. Are you ready? Let's put them in max RPM. That's great! Super add-on. Perfect, so I've unfeathered the props. I'll turn it down a bit now so you can actually hear me speaking. So 2 good engine starts. Max RPM has been preset, although the only RPM right now is only 770 at idle. So after start, external power is already off, and the main bus tie off as well. So external power off, main bus tie off. Bleed water and air on, and we'll leave it set to minimum. Which you need for takeoff if you use max RPM. Battery temps will imagine are fine. Condition levers are max. Standby hydraulic pressure and PTU control on. Check the hydraulic pressure and quantity which is down here. So you can see the standby pressure increasing. Now I've heard mixed messages about this next one. Hydraulic 3 isolation valve in the checklist says open, but I think people have said no, you don't need to do that in real life. So yeah, I'll leave that one closed, and I think you just don't have hydraulic pressure in hydraulic 3. That's, I think, what I was told. Full travel for the elevator, so I've of course got to yoke cam in here, so let's try that here. You can see there's the position of the elevator, so full forward, full back. I think you just do the elevator at this stage, so that's checked. Hydraulic 3 isolation valve in the normal position. Okay, flaps select, so we're going to go for flap 5 for departure. De-icing checked, rudder travel, full travel, so full right and full left. Oh, I need to set the QNH as well. Nose wheel to steering, windshield, heat and probe heat is required, so we don't need the windshield heat on, but put the pitot heat on. Flight taxi switch to taxi, which stows the spoilers. Radio navs are set, PFD MOD set, your damper can come on as well. On, and yeah, just need to set the QNH in Rome Ciampino, which is 1017. 1017 and 1017. I just forgot to set the MFRA as well. 1360 will set here, so MDA 1360. It's just the point at which we retract flaps. Follow FlyB's procedures, which I got guidance from an ex-FlyB pilot. Right, we also want to have FMS selected as the nav source, so nav, and we'll now request taxi. Ciampino traffic is Alpaca 7, Lima Golf taxi, runway 15, Ciampino. Everyone's sort of waiting around, so we'll release the brakes. And we'll start going. Sounds on this are so good. Taxi light on as well. We've got a couple of other Dash 8s. It's lovely taxiing in this. Don't forget to set your nav source. Is that the format?
Traffic, Alpaca 5 Tango taxiing to runway 15.
Too busy looking at chat, not looking where I'm going. Sounds on this are awesome. Look at them all peeling off there. Awesome. Super. So it's just stock scenery, guys. Default scenery, yeah. All the correct markings here seem to match the taxiway charts. Right, and on the taxiway now, we'll start doing a checklist for taxis. So taxi lights on, altimeters are set, fly instruments checked, tank aux pumps 1 and 2 can come on. So 1 and 2. Auto feather on. Well, I'm not looking where I'm going. That's the problem when you have to run checklists on your own and do single pilot stuff. Flaps are set. Takeoff warning test. So that's down here. Move that switch. It'll beep at you unless the aircraft's correctly configured. So it is. No warning sounds. Condition levers are max. Pitot static heat is on.
Traffic Alpaca 1901, taxiing runway 15.
Everyone's behind. Perfect, and we'll just hold here for a very short while just to get the aircraft correctly configured. Oh yeah, I love this aircraft, don't have to start the timer, it does it for you. Right, there we are. So ice protection, caution warnings checked, flight clearance, cabin secure, lineup. So notified, bleed 1 and air 2 minimum, collision to white. TCAS to TARA, and I do remember how to do this, so you select that. I'll have 2000 active, expanded. TARA, there we are, that's on. Flight controls checked, full and free, we've done. Flight to flight, there we go. Landing lights on, that's it, we're ready to go. So, just quickly make sure no one's on final here in Ciampino. No, it's good. Let's go. Alpaca 7 Lima Golf's taking off runway 15 Ciampino. Right, so this is the flyby thing. So go around, heading select, and outsell. So the aircraft will level off at 6,000 feet. Perfect. We can take off the guard. Right, Toga's in chat. Just need to put the throttle to flight. There we are, flight idle. Let's go to Lugano, ladies and gentlemen. There we are, flight rating. Take off thrust set indications normal. I'll select nav at 400 feet. 80 knots checked, accelerates much better than the ATR does though. This is how quick they go. V1, rotate. Ooh, bit of a hump there. Oh, airborne. Positive climb. Gears coming up. Just need to get a little bit of trim here and just hold it on the flight director and let the aircraft accelerate. Nav, LNAV's engaged, so it's going to wait until 1,500 feet. Little flyby. Whoa! It's hard to fly with a flyby mode. Right, there's the I'm afraid we can select flaps up. There's left the right turn at 1,500 feet being commanded. Beautiful aircraft. Really enjoy flying this. And how it looks on the ND, guys, that's how it is depicted in the real aircraft, I believe. It's a very simple system. There's 180, so I'm going to go to indicated airspeed hold. And it's now going to pitch for 180 knots. That will be our initial climb speeds. These procedures I found online as a flyby pilot who talks through them all, and these I believe are the flyby procedures. Pretty happy with how it's all gone. Great add-on, guys. I think there's some just super quality aircraft in X-Plane. This is one of them. So we'll complete that turn inbound to Ostia. In fact, I'll put the VR active. Not that we're actually using it. There's no ATC, guys, so I'm going to go all the way up to our cruise level of 240. If I can remember which bug it is.
Ciampino traffic, Alpaca 5 hunting, holding short 15 for 2 minutes operation.
So 240 sets, outsell is armed, we'll set standards. That turns in, sorry, not quite inbound to Australia, it's RA508. But if I show you Navigraph, it's flown it absolutely, I'm trying to. I don't know why it's not coming up. I'll get the autopilot in and then we'll go there. Right, so command is engaged. Oh, I know why it's not coming up. I was in yoke cam. There we are. So you can see, look, it's flown that turn absolutely perfectly inbound to RA508. Really, really nice. Right, we'll now do the after takeoff checklist. Landing gears up, flaps are up. Oh, forgot to do climb. Forgot to do climb. My apologies. Climb. Should have done that at about 1,000 feet. Bleed 1 and 2 can come on, which it is already. We'll leave it on to normal now. Standby hydraulic pressure PTU controller to normal, so they can come off. Aux tanks can come off. Auto feather can come off. Engine temperature pressures will check. Ice protection pressures all done. Standard sets. 180 knots will climb at initially. After takeoff checklist complete. Oh, the transponder's still in standby. This flipping transponder, is it? It says TARA though, so how could it be that? And the TCAS is working. Oh god. X. I know I did. Thanks, Moen. Beautiful. There we are, RA508. Now we're bound to Ostia. And for raw data, I think you can select something here to display the VOR. Not format, that's plan. The terrain display on, there we go. Have the airports on. Beautiful. It's a fine machine. There we are, passing flight level 100 for flight level 240. Let's do the pre-cruise checks. Fuel, we have sufficient. There's no pumps to turn on. We've got 2.6 aside. Lights can come off. AP we didn't use. Pressurization. Diff is 2.5. Cabin altitude is 4,000 feet. And set. We'll release the passengers. No master cautious. Checks complete. How was my departure, Dash 8 experts? I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with that. 2 tons, hope you're doing well. Was going to mention TCAS off in my member message. Instead I will go back to default and just say pants. Thanks. Great use of your members monthly free comment there, 2 tons. Cheers buddy, hope you're doing well. Excellent. Right, someone grab the METAR for Lugano, because I think you guys are going to want me to do 01 with a tailwind. I looked this morning and the forecast was, the temp was variable at 2 knots. I thought, oh, it'll be fine. It's now 190 at 7. 7 knot tailwind. Great. With showers in the vicinity. Oh, lovely. Yeah, the just completely changed. 190 at 5. Oh, thunderstorms in the vicinity. Wonderful. And CBs. Right. I wonder how active Sky's going to deal with that. Because on my test sector, I couldn't see out the window. Oh, I can hear a middle marker going off. Crazy.
Ciampino traffic, Alpaca 1901, departing runway 15, Ciampino.
Cool. Right, so once we get above flight level 150, apparently in FlyB they used to then select pitch hold, set 5 degrees, as it's more stable as the indicated airspeed pitch hold, it can sort of chase the speed a little bit. But we'll see how we get on as we get a little higher. Camber strike, I know it was. And look, I don't need to set a timer, it does it for me. 6 minutes airborne. Thank you very much, Tor 4x4, for your donation, very kind of you. Should ping through any second. $15. Very hard to know when you're streaming when I'm working every time, but I still try making qualified content and top gents. Oh, I'll go with that. Thank you very much, Tor 4x4. It'll ping it any second, it's always a bit slow. Nightbot must have had a few too many stiff drinks last night. Who watched the F1 quali yesterday? What an extreme turnout for the top 10 we've got today. I'm going to watch it live. I haven't seen an F1 race live for ages. Not since Australia. I missed Baku the other day. Doesn't work. Maybe we'll. Be great if Perez is leading the championship though by the end of the day. Right, let's zoom out here a little bit.
Traffic, Boeing, this is Jet Midnight 1.
I've got a train display on because the weather radar I don't think is fully working here. Lucky Ferrari don't make aeroplanes though. Oops. Oh, of course, the window blinds will work on this add-on. There we are. There's the coast of Italy. Thank you, Tor 4x4.
20. 10.
Don't worry, quality. I knew you said quality, Tor 4x4, thank you. But we'll hear him say qualified nonetheless.
Very hard to know when you're streaming when I'm working every time, but I still try make it qualify content and top gent. Thumbs up.
Thank you very much, Tor 4x4. That's another very generous donation. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, this was a lot of my streams recently have been quite short notice. Sometimes I publish them the day before. But yeah, they've been quite short notice the past few ones, because I sort of wasn't planning on streaming in these days. But no, I had a lovely day out with my girlfriend today. She said, oh yeah, I said, can I stream? And she's very busy with her work. So I was like, yes, I'll do a little stream. Because I've been wanting to go into Lugano for ages. It's just trying to find the time to have done it and get everything updated. So I did that all yesterday and I thought, yes, I'll be able to do it today. So So yes, thank you very much indeed for your donation. Alonso's accidentally moved to a team just as they start doing well this time. He usually goes to a great team that becomes becomes an immediate basket case. Absolutely. McLaren are doing really poorly this year, aren't they? They didn't. Was it last year? It was the year before they were doing well, weren't they? They had, you know, a few podium finishes, didn't he? Lando, but yeah, they're really poor car this year. Bit gutted for what's the young Australian called? He was went to Alpine, and now McLaren are doing far worse. Beautiful out there. So yeah, I think Flyby boys and girls, well I should say ex-Flyby boys and girls, they go to pitch hold now, but it seems to be quite stable here, holding 180 knots. Was that the climb speed in the Dash 8? Yes, an awful time for you, isn't it? 157. Well, is that, no, that'll be the time for you right now, Touring 4x4. Ouch. Yeah, it's just coming up to 5 PM here in the UK. 210 knots. Thanks, Domino Messina. I shall do that, and I'll do it in a way that's nice and smooth. So if I press IAS, goes to pitch hold, I'll just lower it a couple of degrees, well, 3 degrees. We'll accelerate to 2 for 10, and then I'll hold IS hold. Yeah, it's the ATR that's slow and old. It's a bit like it's French, isn't it? Like a Citroen. Andy, asking permission to stream for the other half. I never asked Mrs. 1302 if I could do anything. No point, answers usually no. Brilliant. Basically catching up, excellent. Obviously, you know, if you want to overtake, that's fine. Please advise, keep clear. Now, actually, there is an event going on in Zurich today. So I don't know if that airspace stretches as far south as Lugano, which is right at the southern tip of Switzerland. Hi Cam, great question. When you push the toga switch in the 7.3 on takeoff, do you actually push the throttles forward, or is it just hands on the levers until V1? Happy Sunday. Great question here. Now, when you push toga in the real aircraft, the auto throttle sets the thrust for you, and you just sort of let it do it. You sort of hold your hand there. I've actually noticed recently a lot of FOs that have just finished line training, and I've actually mentioned this to my base captain. They're pushing toga, but then they're sort of adding thrust really quickly, and what they're doing, they're actually setting beyond what takeoff thrust is. So, you know, we typically reduce thrust using D rates and assumed thrust. It's, you know, 85 to 90% in the max, up to sort of between 94 to 100 in the NG. But guys are pushing it, and they're setting it well. They're like pushing ahead. Oh, you know, slow down. You know, don't have to do it. You know, it's allowed in the takeoff performance. It takes into account the spooling of the engines using the auto throttle. So they're pushing it, firewalling it, putting a spike on of like 100% N1, and then it's going back down. So a new guy literally firewalled it the other day. I was like, whoa, what's wrong with the auto throttle? So yeah, to answer your question, just push it and guard it. Let the auto throttle set it. You've got to guard it. That's very important, because you know, you've got to be prepared to reject at any time. And then you just let it set takeoff thrust for you. Lauren, turn around to Zurich. No, I don't have time today. No time. Well, I do have time, but I've got other things I like to plan for streaming. Also, I've got a new keyboard. Oh, guys, I've got to show you my new keyboard. Hold up. I'm back. I thought I'd treat myself. I thought it was downstairs, but no, it's not. I got this from Argos today. I thought I'd treat myself because my keyboard, my Logitech one, is beginning to show its age. Check out my GUI 1.5 wireless. I've got a wired keyboard, but I bought this from Argos, other places available, and it'll be really just quite nice when I'm sim racing with the members or doing other things. I can move the keyboard out there because the cable was quite restrictive, but I've read some very positive reviews about this keyboard. Apparently, you know, for pro gamers use it. I mean, I'm not going to be playing COD with it, so it'll be fine for me. Very, very excited to unplug it and unplug my. Well, I've had this Logitech cabled one since I started streaming, and it still works fine. And it'll become my backup keyboard. Oh, I keep forgetting with next plane I could do this. Beautiful. I love the Dash 8. I'm sorry, and if you're French, I'm especially sorry, but the ATR was fun. This is just more fun. It's a little bit more to do in this. The ATR's got little rotary things, and you know, it is a great add-on for this new, what do they call it, Expert Series, isn't it? Aircraft, but it's not. It doesn't even come close to what this is as an add-on. No offense to the devs there, because it is for the price very, very good. But this is on another level. No, I don't know. ATR nor Dash 8 has any auto throttle, Mason. I think it cruises a little bit faster, the Q400. Sort of when you level off, you leave it in the flight rating and we'll get to around 220, 230 knots. Yeah, 2 tons. Oh, okay, okay. Kat, yes, you said you got one as well. 30% NHS discount, that's mega. That's mega. I'll whack this through as an expense. Dono is saying you want the Dash 8 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Is anyone making a Dash 8 for Microsoft Flight Sim? Who's the one that made the really good Dash 8 for Prepared? Can't remember. Majestic, that's it, Majestic. Spoozy, they both have FadeX, which makes the throttle easier to handle, but no auto throttle per se. Yes, well, what I found is sort of from takeoff, really, unless you level off, you just leave it in the flight rating mode, and that's it. You know, during the climb, and you level off, I think you just leave it there. And I know there's different settings, isn't there? Like for cruise flight, you have it. Is it MCL and MCR, max cruise and max? What's MCL? Is that max climb? I really don't know, but this is sort of the performance you'd expect. Now, I don't know if any of you have been flying the Dash 8 in X-Plane 12, but I think I've got a bit of a bug. So when I click this, you'll now see it's updated the V speed, the approach speed. So between 118 and 133, I found the stick shaker speed is within the speeds. I was always under the impression that this was sort of like the minimum safety approach speed, but the stick shaker, the red and black barber's pole, is well into this, it's like 125 knots, so what I've been flying is actually the upper speed. I've been flying 133 knots on the approach, just to stay outside of the stick shaker speed. Never used to do it on older versions, but I've had it in the last few streams in the FlyJSim Dash 8 and X-Plane 12. It's max climb, kind of like the notch in the ATR. Interesting, Spoozy, interesting. Taylor L, during the approach, will you need to use speed brake all the way down? Can you actually use speed brake in flight for this? I actually genuinely don't know how. It does have spoilers on the top, but I think they're just roll spoilers, and I think they can deploy on landing. But you've got to go gear, and it's close to idle. Speeds, I don't use the automatic V speeds, I use Luxair's paper speeds based on the weight, as they are more accurate. Do you have the source for that? Because I quite like to have that, and then I can put the speeds in manually. And these are based off your actual gross weight, I guess. Yeah, pretty much spurious podge, yeah. Isn't flight idle like a speed brake? Absolutely. Now, want to go. One thing I'm quite interested about is I know in the Dash 8 to reduce noise vibrations they leave the RPM lever in properly in min 850. They then select reduced NP landing and then they set 1020. That gives you 850. Now I'm tempted for this approach to leave them at max RPM. The reason being, am I right in thinking that that's going to be more drag because they're going to be less feathered? There's sort of going to, you know, I think if they're spinning higher, they're going to produce more drag, be less sort of angled into the airstream. Welcome aboard there, Enrico. Thanks for subscribing. Hope you're doing well. Speaking of noise, did you shift the wipers up? No, and I really hope it doesn't rain because on one of my test sectors it was raining and the wipers were useless and I genuinely couldn't see out the runway, see out the window to see the runway. But yeah, sorry, they're meant to be up, aren't they? There's no pleasing some people. Where is it there? How do you move them up? Yeah, because if I move it to park, they go down. Oh, I don't know. Is it to do with noise? Oh. Like that? Is that where they're meant to be? You should never use a wiper on a dry window as well. It damages it. Oh! I pressed shift 4, but it went into an aircraft carrier. What in the world? Tempting, but no, not today. Where's that? There it is. It is Cav OK if you're wondering where the clouds are. Active sky is on here. I'm a little concerned that the wipers are above the glass, or is that actually how they are in the real aircraft? Maybe. Mason, is there a maximum speed altitude that you can use the wipers in the 7.3? No, but you don't need to use them until you're 500 feet above the ground on approach, and then for landing, for takeoff as soon as you're airborne. Beautiful. I think you go max RPM during steep approaches anyway. Yeah, that makes sense, Boozy. Stealth mode activated. It's a sign, Captain. Hey, Amit Kumar, it's not the first time we've diverted a flight on a stream and landed on an aircraft carrier. I did it in the Twin Otter once, an X-Plane 11 years ago. We could easily do it, a carrier landing in the Q400 though. No problem. Scottish, what exactly is Cav OK? It stands for Cloud Visibility OK, literally. And it's when the visibility is over 10k, no clouds or anything below 5,000 feet. Oh yeah, reduced to 850 at cruise, thank you. And we'll leave it in flight rating. The aircraft will sort of hold this speed. That's our cruise speed. We're doing about 303 knots. And we've just finished the SID look at Giglio. There we are. Right over... what island is this? I've Ortho 4XP'd it. Like Doctor, what's the highest altitude you've encountered rain in real life? Sort of when you get above 10-15,000 feet, it's too cold. But you can get ice crystals, or icy crystals, but yeah, usually around below 15,000 feet. Yeah, X-Plane 12 doesn't look up too bad here. No, it's pretty good. Obviously, it's never going to beat Microsoft Flight Simulators, but with Ortho, which is once you know how to install and download Ortho, it's very easy, and I actually prefer how Ortho looks at higher altitude, which is where, you know, 90% of our streams are in aircraft like this at altitude, and I think Ortho is a lot crisper and looks a lot clearer than the big maps from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, is that the Costa Concordia Island? I have no idea. Beautiful. Well, it's going to be very scenic, this flight, as we approach the Alps as well. They look great in Ortho. So flying towards Elba now. Pisa we'll see on the coastline as well. Leading Tower Pisa, of course, and right over Genova, and then look at this, it's right at the foothold of the Alps. Beautiful part of the world, this. Oh, that is the island where the Costa Concordia ship sank. No way. Jahita, how much time is left? How long have we been airborne for? 24 minutes, hour 10. It's about 45 minutes to go. Short flight today. Scottish, anyone else on 3070 Ti? 4040. I run at 1080. One of the reasons I get great performance is actually I run at 1080, and I think the quality for me is absolutely fine. I could stream at 4K. I've got the bandwidth, but it just kills your performance for me. I mean, what do you think of the quality today, guys? It's never going to be as good as what I see it because obviously it's uploaded and the stream does stuff. But I've set my stream up to sort of allow for not the best quality. I actually like quite quick interaction, so I have a quite ultra low. It's not the ultra low latency, but it's sort of when you write something, it takes 10 seconds for me to see it. But the FPS is great. What am I getting right now? 60, and I've capped it at 60. This aircraft used to be very FPS heavy, but it seems to be quite well optimised. Next plane 12 for me. Stone Street's watching on his phone, excellent. Does the audio clip like that for every aircraft in X-Plane 12? Yeah, you do get occasionally a few clips, a bit of audio clipping, but I've heard it a couple of times whilst in this aircraft today. But in other aircraft, no, I think this perhaps has it a little more than often. I'm trying to think now, but it's never an issue for me. Beautiful here in the Mediterranean. Ahmed Kumar, does this have failures? I don't think so, but don't quote me on that, I don't know. There's landing gear view. That's where you see me plant it into the onto the runway in Lugano. It's a lot louder than this in real cabin on the Dash 8 as well. But yeah, obviously in Microsoft Flight Simulator, the water looks so nice. It's a bit flat and plain here. I mean, you can't even see any detail even if you zoom in. Oh, there you go, look. It's all a bit generic textures, isn't it? It depends what you want. I think for IFR flying, this is my preferred simulator. I think the aircraft handle really nicely on takeoff and landing. If you're not staring out the window every second, Ortho 4XP for mine is a great compromise for flying over the virtual world. But if you really want to enjoy VFR flying, yeah, I think you're going to have far more fun in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But there's some great IFR, you know, I love the PWG 7.3, the Indy Builds A300, I haven't flown that for a while. I will try out some, you know, we generally do try and fly detailed aircraft, and I don't fly default aircraft and things like that. I know, or have seen Microsoft Flight Simulator doing a significant update to the 7.8 and 7.5 Ionics. If you guys are interested, I might try that out on the stream just to see what it is. It won't be obviously a high fidelity, high quality add-on, but I actually did a stream of the default 747 for Microsoft Flight Sim once for a bit of a laugh, and it'll be quite nice just to see what you can get. I might take the 7.8 because we haven't flown many wide-body jets, twin jets on this aircraft, on this channel. I mean, there aren't that many twin jet wide body aircraft which are good, just part of the Indy builds. Yeah, I heard of the Salty Sim 7.4, but I think the 7.8 I'd like to try. And a good friend of mine, who the members are very familiar with, Pilot Mike, 7.8 pilot, I get all the information from him. Right. Once we're in the cruise, then we can select VNAV, put a target rate of descent of 1500 feet per minute in, which would give us a path, a top of descent point 25 minutes away, 141 miles. So we'll start setting up in 5 minutes time, because there's a lot to talk about with this approach. We'll get a latest update on that wind. I think you're going to make me do the straight in, aren't you? Oh, the wind's now down to 1905 with thunderstorms in the vicinity. Wonderful. Let's see how Active Sky deals with that then. Now this update apparently fixed some turbulence bumping, updated it today. LSZA, does the Q400 want to roll to the left and on departure? I'm trying to think. It does roll in one direction. Is it left? Yes. I think it's just due to the props. Torque from the props and the prop wash. Rab-H loves a good storm. Oh, I don't. When X-Plane 12 was in its infancy, we flew the Dash 8 and live weather was broken. So we ended up turning on, I think it was default weather, but we put the deterioration level to high. And by the time we landed, I think it was in Jersey or Guernsey, what was it, like 60 knots and severe turbulence. The aircraft was uncontrollable. We got it down though. 7-8, oh, everyone's loving a bit of 7-8 action. Yeah, we'll do a sort of a 2-hour flight to see it. I might do it on a FlyJSim event, but I don't know how well the default aircraft are at holding if it's busy. Chris, hi FlyJSim, because of one of your videos I bought the FlyJSim last week. What a great plane, better than the Majestic. Oh, well, I've not flown the Majestic, but I do praise the FlyJSim aircraft. I don't know, I think to be very quiet regarding porting their 737-200 and 727. I am yearning to fly that. Oh, I can't wait to jump into 700. 700, the 727-200. Beluga rubbers that stream, yes. It was all over the place. MD-80 comparison between Microsoft FlyJSim explained soon. Yes, it'd be interesting to do that. I haven't flown the Rotate MD-80 in a very long time, but now it's been ported over to, or updated to X-Plane 12. We could compare it. We've actually flown the Leonardo simulations one quite recently. We did 2 streams in the last couple of weeks. There we are. So yeah, unfortunately the weather loading in is still a bit gradual. It just sort of plonks the clouds in. Microsoft Flight Simulator transition is beautiful, and then yeah, I don't like this layer of clouds at all. Yeah, I think the depiction of clouds in Microsoft Flight Simulator based off the weather is actually much better. Much better. But I do prefer the winds in this sim. Jihita would like a Q400 engine fire, please. No thanks. Patrick, you've got Air Law Ops AKG, what's that? Don't even know what that is. Oh, no HPL exams. We didn't have to do that. We had to learn about LSZA in our HPLs. Best of luck though, best of luck with your HPL exams. The Blosb said, would you like to fly the Crash 8 in real life? And yes, I personally called it the Crash 8. Yeah, I'd like to have a go. Well, I'd like to have a go. I'd probably end up absolutely burying it into the threshold though. Scottish hooked on the PMDG 7.3, got it a couple of weeks ago, kind of get over the graphics of Microsoft FlyJSim, meaning as a X-Plane fanboy I'm kind of cheating on X-Plane 11 at the moment. Brilliant. No, it is great. You know, the PMDG 7.3, it's got a few little bugs, as has the Zebo, but when you think about all the flying you're doing with 95% of the time of the autopilot, I think you get more satisfaction out of Microsoft FlyJSim. Enjoy. After landing, you should do a takeoff with an engine fire V1. I don't know how to get this all set up though, and I like to sort of do those as separate streams. If you are interested, if you look on my previous live streams, I did a Zebo 737 and PMDG 737 comparison stream. We did 2 engine fires, one after the other, and they were both very reasonably well modelled. They both had things that weren't quite correct, but overall for what essentially entertainment products, they were both sort of quite reasonable in modelling the engine failure issues. I'm torn between the MD-11 and the Flight Factor 7.6 currently. Rotate is a bit ahead. Decisions. Now, if you asked me that question a year ago, I'd have said the 7.6, but Rotate have done a significant amount of work on the MD-11. It was a bit of a bodge job on launch, no offence, but it's now a sweet add-on. If you get the XP sound pack, really nice. Enjoyed it. Flew it across the pond. 80k love, what is the ETA on arrival? It's just up here, 16:54 Zulu, so about 35 minutes, but taking into account slowing down as well. Right, so we're 20 minutes from descent. I think we better start grabbing all the charts and setting up for the approach here. So let me just get them all open up on Navigraph here. Now we'll go for the IGS with a tailwind today. Perfect. So starts at Vog. Okay, the Vog VOR. We're flying over the Mediterranean. Pisa's just to our 3 o'clock shortly. I don't think we can see anything today. I know I've got Navigraph up. No, it's gone overcast here. So starting off here on the arrival, the biggest threat here is the approach. Very steep. We'll follow the guidance with the Lugano charts on what to do. We'll be flying the Vog 6 Lima straight in from Voghera. So if I go here to flight plan, let me just work out how to set this all up here. This is not my aeroplane. Format, there we are. Flight plan, so go next. So Geneva, Malpensa, there we are. So you can see, look, we passed Vog. The top of the descent's just around before Voghera, sorry. Then we're going to go towards the Malpensa VOR, which is right over Milan Malpensa, the international airport there, the major international airport. Wants to be at 10,629 feet. The VNAV system works really well in the Dash 8. We'll zoom on in here as well. Then from Malpensa we route direct to Pinnock to be at above 6,000 feet. So you can see here Pinnock in the FMS. It's the next point, and that's the beginning of the IGS approach, 6,565, so we're complying with that restriction. And then going straight onto the IGS approach, you can see Pinnock here, 6,000 as well. So we'll do the top of the briefing strip, and we'll read all the warnings carefully. So ILS frequency is, well, the lock frequency is 108.9. So I'm tuning that on my radio tuning panel now, 108.9, box 1. 108.9, box 2, so they are tuned. The course is 017, so if you hold down the format button, you'll stay in LNAV and allow you to set the course. Oh no, I've got to be out of plan mode though. There we are, we can set the course, which was 017. Oops. 017. What have I done now? I need to hold down format. And we'll do it for Jim. Oh, I know what I forgot to do on Jim's. I forgot to transfer from the FMS. There you go, Jim. Have my FMS. Find the Volga 6 Lima arrival. Except, there you are, Jim now has an FMS. So we'll set his legs up as well. So we'll give him the ND. So to nav, there we are. Hold down format. Is this not, and this is normal in the cruise, you have no standby hydraulic pressure and no hydraulic pressure in system number 3, is that correct? I hope so. Course 017. Now why is that course not changing? Oh, it is down there. It's not changed the top one, never mind. So frequencies, courses, minimums then. So we're going to be flying straight in. Look at these Mr. Approach glide rates, 9%. What's the cloud base today? Oh, wind's now variable at 6 knots. Okay, good. Few at 5,500. The reason I'm going to go 3,190. The reason is it's the same minimums, almost the same as for the localizer and circle to land. So we'll set. Let's go for 3,190 based on a 5% Mr. Approach glide gradient. So 3,190. Is set. RVR required 6,000 meters, which we'll have. Could, if it's raining, drop off though, so we've just got to bear that in mind. So how we're going to fly this, guys, I mean, you've heard me say before the maximum rate of descent for approaches to be called stabilised at the gates 1,000 feet per minute. In excess of that we have to go around. It's impossible to do this. Our approach speed is going to be doing 140 knots. Look at the required rate of descent at 140 knots. 1,653. So, a couple of options, alright, to improve things in this aircraft, to stop it screaming at you. Look, it has flat 35 approach steep. I'm going to select steep, and I'm also going to inhibit the terrain. If you don't do that, it just screams at you through the entire approach, which is probably accurate, I don't know, but yeah, we need to maintain a rate of descent of around 14 to 1600 feet per minute just to maintain this path. It's over twice as steep as a conventional 3-degree RLS. So 6.65 degrees, 130 to 140 knots that we need to do between 1400 to 1500 feet per minute. So what we're going to do, we're going to level off at Pinnock at 6,000 feet, and then we're going to intercept the ILS prior to Caldo. And what we're going to do, we're going to tell the FMS, right, we'd like to be level at 6,000 feet, and this will give us the opportunity to slow down. We need to be fully configured prior to Glideslope capture. Gear down, flaps the lot, okay? Otherwise the speed will run away. You have to be configured. So you can see here Pinnock, it's put us at 6.5. I don't want to be at 6.5, I want to be at 6,000. So it's going to put us a little bit low. I need to level off, but I want to get the aircraft configured to slow down. So 6,000 feet is set. Gear down, flap 35, and down we'll go. It's a really steep approach, but the Pappies are based off this approach path as well. So there's two sets of Pappies with the default scenery, but one of them is correct. You'll get 2 reds and 2 whites with 6.65 degrees. So you can see here the missed approach is quite tricky because a lot of terrain around. Right turn, max 150, go outbound 189, and once you're at 6,000, past 5,000 feet, right turn, out inbound to Malpensa, and we go back to Pinnock for another approach. This is not a standard approach angle. Warning, Pappies are set to 6 degrees. Okay, so they're actually... We're at 6.65. The actual Pappies are at 6, so we're going to probably see 3 whites on the approach, which now makes sense now. But we'll disconnect and follow the Pappies. Use Pappy only after passing 3.7. Do not undershoot Pappy glide path due to trees below approach path. Steep approach 6.65 degrees. Aircraft certification, crew qualification, Type C required. So you can't just fly into this airport. You have to have specific training. Same as Funchal. So, that's how we're going to sort of fly it. We've looked at the Pappy angle. Let's have a look at the additional information here. So I think it's under the reference page. No, it's not on a taxi. So, special regulation. IFR approach procedures. So we're going to do IGS runway 01 steep approach. Pilot qualification Type C, Jim and I have that. Aircraft certification in accordance with 1.2, which the Dash 8 has because they do fly to this airport. Talked about the steep approach. The landing is performed at this angle. Aircraft must be established with the according VREF along the proportion with the approach angle at 6 degrees. Approach may be performed only if at the given time the tailwind component, which results from the values measured at landing at the airport, doesn't exceed half of the value of the max tailwind component permitted according to the AFM for steep approach procedures. Someone quoted 6 knots, didn't they, for the Dash 8 on steep approaches, so it's around that, but it is now variable. We'll keep a close eye on that. There's pages and pages of this. More guidance about the Pappies. We've talked about that briefly. Now, if you're flying the localizer approach, it's actually a very shallow approach. You use 4.17 degrees, so I think they've got 2 sets. That's for 1.9, which we're not going to do today. More requirements and visibility, airport aircraft certification. You get there's so much information with the Navigraph Jeppesen charts, so just like there would be in real life. Right, short runway as well. That's why you couldn't come here in your 7.3. 01. Is there any landing distance available? Beyond the Glideslope. Look at that, it's only 1,200 metres. So, as I said, we've got flap 35. I'm not going to use reverse, I'm just going to go to the whatever the detent is to activate the props in the sort of taxi mode. I can't remember what they're called, but I've done it, guys. You can stop this thing at 500 metres if needed, but we are going to get sync rate warnings. There's nothing you can do. We need to do 1,600 feet per minute to stay on this approach. That's it. Anthony, what category airport's Lugano? It's Cat C. Training would be required. Josh X, how long is top of descent? Might go back and watch the departure first. Oh, cool. It is 9 minutes away. 9 minutes away. Doing a good speed here though, 235 knots. You could do like 260 in the descent in this beast. Oh, look at the Alps in the distance. Wonderful. Do a little fuel check as well. I've not done anyway, but the Simbury flight plan's pretty accurate. Craig Maddox tried his approach after seeing your Facebook post today. It did not end well. I'm watching to learn from any mistakes. Uh-oh. First time I've ever streamed it. Make sure, Craig, prior to Glideslope capture, you're at your final approach speed, gear and flaps. You've got to. Lucas, what are your graphic settings? Remind me at the end of the stream, I can bring it up, but they're pretty high. Not the highest settings, but one I'm happy with at 1080. Where's Will? You need specific training before flying into this airport. That's why I'm watching the video. Uh-oh. RabH, you did it in the longitude and the BA146 at Microsoft Flight Sim went okay. Yeah, I wonder if the 146 when they land here, they have to get that tail speed brake out. Thanks, Scott Morgan. Yes, if you are enjoying the stream, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. It helps the channel out a lot. Perhaps you could like it and then save it as a I need to learn to fly to Lugano, but not properly. Don't watch me, guys. I'm a noob. Jamosty can't bear it anymore, heading bug. Have I still got it set to runway heading out of Ciampino? Yep. That's one thing the ATR does have. Sync heading. There you go. Trick is to butter as 3 reds on the Pappy. No, it said don't do that though, you can hit the trees. Beautiful, look at this. About to fly over Genova. Genova. Oh, is there any Italians here? How do I pronounce it? I always say Genova. There it is down there. Oh, we've flown into Genova on a live stream. It's quite a cool airport there. Beautiful. Yeah, speed brake out all the way down in the 146. Yeah, absolutely. You'd need to. You're welcome, Hoo Hoo Chum. Was your eye twitching slightly? Prop animations are awesome. 80k level, what other aircraft would you like to fly? An Airbus, genuinely. I would like to have a go on one. See what all the fuss is about. Hello, Edo. Bolzano Genova with this little bird would be nice. Very short. In Bolzano, what's the runway length there? Genova's coming up on the left there. There you go, just below the cloud. Yes, you heard me right, Antony. There's top of descent. 5 minutes to go. Yes, I think next stream I'd like to fly the Felis 747 if there's any objections. I don't know. I might set up both my thrustmaster thrust levers. I did on the stream. It's a bit of a handful, but it's just epic. I did say a while back I'd like to fly again into a busy van sim event, so you can see me sweating. No, don't know who's seen it. Is that even compatible with X-Plane 12? I know it's free now. Daniel B, yeah, you want Concorde. Oh, I could do Concorde. How is the Concorde in X-Plane 12? 'Cause last time I flew it, it's just, the engines are far too powerful. You sort of get to like Mach 2 very easily, whereas I think the real aircraft you have to sort of wait till you're 3/4 along the route until you get to 60,000 feet. Sky, yeah, I did hear 737 drivers become an Airbus pilot. He's going to have to rename his channel. But the Felis 74 is just epic. The sounds, it's just epic. And I feel it's like I only need to do sort of like it doesn't take long for me to sort of jump back into it and get up to speed. To be fair, I jumped into this yesterday and did one flight. I was like, oh yeah, back sort of to you know, a little bit more familiar with it now. There we are, Genevieve, you are. Wonderful. Tory 4x4, agreed. Josh X, is it common for Boeing pilots to switch to Airbus and vice versa? Surely it's a huge learning curve. Not really common. It's not really sort of any set way about it. Just depends if you change airline, what aircraft they have really, what fleet you put onto. Chum, is it possible to fly the 747 without INS? Yeah, absolutely, but sort of I like setting up and flying with it. But if there are any classics that are around wouldn't be using INS now, they'd have FMS sort of retrofitted. Travelino blog, are you switching aircraft? No. I like the 7.3. Egg P says, I think that's probably the airport code. What time would you turn on and off the wing lights? On the 7.3 we use it to inspect the leading edge if flying through icing conditions in flight. So typically in climb and descent in descent conditions. Yeah, KLM and Transavia getting rid of the 7.3 then. Oh, Antonio, of course. I'd love to have a go on a 7.4, but I don't. I like my sort of work-life balance. It's been a while since we've flown vintage aircraft. I am excited for the Just Flight Fokker that's coming out soon, isn't it? I don't think that's too far away. That's sort of. Is it a F70, F100 they're making? Can't remember. Transavia is getting the 320, 321 this year, KLM 2024. Wow. Right, look, top of descent is 9.7 miles away. We've received a message. It says top of descent alert. And you can see that the VNAV guidance has come on here. So let's have a little look at the chart. So approaching Vagira, flight level 90 above. So what we'll do is set 90. Outsell. And engage VNAV, and the aircraft will commence descent. Once that magenta line is a beam where it says 24,000 feet, 240. The Fokker 18-100, sorry, I said 70. I don't know my Fokkers very well. I don't think there's many of those flying around now. Here comes the profile. Yeah, I think Felis next. Last time we flew the Felis, we did a very challenging approach. Was it into Bogota? I think, yeah, I did like a VOR approach, nice self-positioned. It was really hard work. We managed to get it down. Oh, the A300. Yeah, DHL, I wouldn't want to do cargo ops. Wouldn't want to do night flying. Yeah, I'm very fortunate to be able to say that, of course, but quite like flying my operator. There's VNAV path, so the aircraft's going to slowly start pitching down. I'll begin reducing power. We'll maintain about 240, 250 knots in the descent. Top of descent in chat. Down we go. This is constant speed propeller, so as you reduce power, the RPM stays exactly the same. VV, sorry, Leia, did you break up with the ATR? It's a fine add-on. This is just... I'm going to say it's a better one. This one is a beast. Has anyone actually tried the ATR and this approach? I know one of the members did it and he said he did manage it, but one of the streams I did, I could barely manage the speed on a 3-degree ILS. Oh, chart's still open. Sorry, guys. Thank you. Remember, I can't see that. It's on my second monitor. Oh, true, Andy H1302. Yes, boxes don't complain. A little bit of power. It's a very shallow descent I set VNAV 1500 feet. Set whatever you like, but it'll do it get you all the way onto the ILS. This one. Well, that level segment. Remember, we set 6,000 feet. Yeah, agreed. Purpleac. Yeah, the ATR is very slippy, which is very unexpected for a turboprop. Vertical alert. Ooh, what does that mean? Oh, that's because we're approaching a restriction with a height, I think. I've got another message in the FMC. Vertical waypoint alert. No, that's fine. Now updating my speeds again. There we are, so we're now on the arrival. Inbound to Malpensa. We can descend to 6,000 feet. And we'll grab the QNH for Lugano. See what the wind's doing now as well. Variable at 6 knots still. Okay, that's fine. 1015's QNH. I'll set now. 1015. 015. Why have I got a master caution? Don't know. I think I just didn't blank it. 1015 set 3 times. Speed's good, 254 knots. Take a little bit of power off. True list of it. It's a little bit cloudy. Beautiful scenery. I do love Ortho, guys. But I download Ortho on a flight-by-flight basis. Or stream-by-stream basis, basically. So I don't store it, I'll delete it as soon as the stream's over, because the images are updated. And I've noticed over the past 5 years, the image quality has improved significantly. Less, less and less have... more Ortho has less clouds. You can sort of see that the clouds are sort of loading in there. Ooh, looks a big old chunky cumulus ahead of us. Lovely chart again, sorry. Sorry, guys. Unbelievable. Huge Navigraph looking sublime today. No words. Oh dear. Oh. Unbelievable. I'm gonna go right through that. Just thanks, Scott Morgan. Yep. I mean the clouds look okay, look better. They've improved in the sim. The Microsoft FlyJSim clouds are very, very nice. God, that does look like an Italian town there, though. Down there, though. Alright, seatbelt signs coming on. Where is it? I can't find it. Okay. Ah! Hyperdrive. I think we'll put a bit of windshield heat on here, and I really don't know how. Well, I sort of. The clouds look really good. I think the icing system, I really wouldn't know at what stage they select what. We'll put the engine intake on. That's sort of like engine anti-ice. Oh, see, look, the speed's very bit of turbulence in this cumulus cloud. Now that I like. This is something Microsoft FlyJSim's missing. Yeah, it doesn't look so great here, but that if you're flying through cumulus, you're going to get some turbulence like this. You see the speed jumping up and down. Nice. Is that what rain actually looks like at night time? Yes, at night time with the lights on. During the day, no, you're not going to see it like that. Am I going to? I'm not sure about icing in this thing. I'm gonna whack it all on, guys. Slow on. Props sequencing, just because I really don't know how the icing model is on this. Defo, keep the anti-ice on. It's not being fixed at Explain 12, so it can't handle removing ice. Got you. Keeping it on. That's better. But yeah, that is sort of what rain looks like when you're flying through it at night with the lights illuminated. You wouldn't see that much detail during the day. But that was nice. But there's some real depth to the cumulus clouds now. I'm going to leave all the icing systems on here. What's the ATC situation? Ooh, where's Lugano? It just falls out of the ATC area, guys. I don't think we're going to get any ATC. Brett, how do you anticipate seatbelt size with turbines? You don't really. It's sort of reactive. But if other people are complaining and there are en route, or if ATC said that there's been reports of turbulence in your sector, there you go. That's one situation in which we turn it on. Last time I was on X-Plane 12, better pushback crasher sim. Does that work by now? It does, but there is actually a compatibility issue I think Edo found with regards to Active Sky beta and the approach. Now, guys, I know a lot of people joined on the sector. I'm tempted just to go offline. This is no ATC. I know people have joined in. It's just a preventative measure, let's say. What would you say? Because there's no ATC. Someone's got the weather in Ciampino. Wait, Nightbot, why are you spurting out the Ciampino weather when no one's actually asked for it? Oh, Danny would like to watch me. Okay. I think everyone that joined me on this on the fly is saying no. I agree with you, Childa. I have to say that the weather presentation seems a bit more on point in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Certainly graphically, yes. I think what the Metar's saying and the TAF's saying, well, or the Metar's saying, is depicted in Microsoft Flight Simulator more accurately in the visual sense, but how the aircraft actually flies through clouds and things is improved. Even with the turbulence on realistic, though, you need a bit more oomph. Right, we'll start reducing a bit more power because I'm getting speeds below 250. Yeah. As many people as joined me as it is, yeah, as it's a weekend, bank holiday weekend in the UK. If it was ATC, I would 100% stay on, but this is a challenging approach. The next thing I want is some moronic individual spawning on the runway. Right, anyway, that's done. I've come off. Malpensa, 6,000 feet above. Pinnock's also 6,000 feet above, so we're going to make that right turn. However, we should have localizer information now. There it is. So what we can actually do is go heading select, like so. So where are you? Heading, nav source to conventional, engage nav, localizer alive, localizer capture. So we've now actually captured the localizer. We are 23 miles to touchdown and 10,000 feet. It seems ridiculously high. But we've captured the localizer on the approach. Look at the Alps there in the distance. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. What's the outside air temperature now? I think I can get away with turning these icing systems off. I'm a bit concerned about the oil temperature. Looks a bit low. Well, it's warmed up now. So I'm going to start reducing power now because I do want to slow down to idle. And we're going to approach here. Remember, we've got this level segment to get the aircraft dirty and configured. Daniel, I know. I hope you understand that. I had some issues a couple of streams ago, but if there's no ATC, there isn't any benefit for the other... How many people watch? 300 people watching. So flaps, we can select flap 5 below 200, flap 10 below 181, flap 15 at 172, flap 35 at 158. What's the actual wind in the game right now? No wind. Could be realistic enough to be fair. Close the what, Rob G? cowl flaps. It's not a DC-3. This approach is steep, guys. So we're going to level off and let the aeroplane decelerate here. Latest wind still variable 6. Coming out of the clouds here. 1,000 feet to go. Outsellers engaged. Oh, look at that. I mean, it's not Microsoft Flight Sim, but Ortho is stunning. And there is the airport, guys. So you can see why you can't do a 3-degree ILS. There's a mountain in the way. Mixture's the rich, Captain. Love it. So, outstart. Here is the approach. Remember, I'm going to slow down, level off, get the aircraft configured, and then we'll descend on this 6.65 degree approach. I'm going to wait till we are below 200 knots before we select flat 5. We'll then drop the gear. Set runway heading. Right, there's 200 knots or below. Alarm approach. Where are you? Approach is armed, so Glideslope's in white. Flap 1. We'll drop the gear. Glideslope's alive. Flap 10 below 181. That beep was because the gear wasn't quite locked down. Flap 15 172. And below 158 we can now select flap 35. I'll increase the power now. The runway is disappearing below the glare shield. Slowly increase the power. I'm going to set this to max RPM. It's non-standard. Remember, use reduced MP, but I want as much drag as possible here. So we're level now, about to intercept the ILS. I need to put these on as well. Getting ready for Glideslope captures. Watch our speed there. So you can see, look, these speed tapes at the lower speed margin. That was me adding the power. It's caused the aircraft to sort of balloon here. Whoa, some pressure changes and speed changes, I think. Glideslope capture. Getting ready to go idle power. Quarter, I don't need. It's X-plane. Come on, pitch down, pitch down, pitch down. Got to be careful here because I want to keep the speed stable, but I also... Whoa, there's a... Oh, the wind's variable at 6 and it's all over the place. Down we go then. Remember, what's our ground speed here? 147 knots. Let's have a quick look at that table. Need to be doing about 1700 feet per minute here to stay on the ILS, which it's coming up to. And I'm almost at idle, but I'm not quite. Look, it's holding that speed nicely. Bleed to minimum, sorry, yes, otherwise I'm going to max RPM. Thank you. Remember, don't fly this aircraft. So, post-cruise checks as well. Lights. Pressurization set, seatbelts on. Right, checks complete. Look at this, guys. Just have a little look on this external view. We're fully configured. Such a great add-on. It's handling it really well. You have to have a plane like this. There is the airport, guys. This is so steep. 6.65 degrees. We're doing nearly 2,000 feet per minute to stay on the ILS here. There's the wind. I do like these little changes. Look, the wind's working well in active sky. Just plugging it in here. Place your bets on the landing rate here. Missed approach altitude set 6,000 feet. I think we've done everything we need to. We've got sufficient fuel vent to go around. Our alternate's 0.9. Yeah, we've got loads of gas here. Nearly 45 minutes worth. So remember the Pappies. It's put us at 4 whites as predicted because it's a slightly steeper approach. So what I'm going to do is disconnect the autopilot. My controls. Yoke cam on for you. Just take a bit more power off. Start using the Pappies now, okay? So don't worry so much about the Glideslope. I'm looking at the Pappies. I think it's the Pappies furthest away we're going to be using. So I think that's one red just coming in now. And I'm going to use the top of that speed band. I'm going to maintain about 130 knots. So there we are. 2 reds, 2 whites. Maybe 3 reds there. It's hard to see. Just get a bit more comfortable in my chair. Oh, I need to move my head up. There we go. It's so steep. Got a little bit of a tailwind. That 7 knot tailwind has just come in. Ah! I mean, the weather's just updated. 8 knots. Right, 2 reds, 2 whites. Keep that picture all the way down. Got a nice tailwind here. Right, 3 whites, just increase that rate of descent slightly. A little bit off centre line. 3 whites, that's still okay. 2 reds, 2 whites, pitch up. And keep that pitcher, speed's good. Keep sending. 2 reds, 2 whites. I'm not using, remember the other pappies at a different angle. I'm using the pappies at the back. Checked, 2 reds, 2 whites. That's expected. Gonna flare about 50 feet here. Keep descending. Oh, Christ. Checked. Keep descending. Keep descending. Keep descending. It was a bit high there.
50, 40,
Fair.
20,
Oh, it's down. Oh, that was really hard. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Oh, no. That's awful. Oh, dear. Don't need any brakes though. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That was completely my fault. I flared at 50 feet and I think maybe I wasn't quite trimmed because I held the stick all the way back. Oh dear. Well, it's not wasted. It's not wasted. Oh dear, what an absolute plonk. Oh dear. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lugano. The very good flare. I know my flare was wonderful. It was a gust. It was a gust. Yes. Yeah, I need to look at that. I flared high. I knew it was going to be firm. I mean, I had to stick all the way back. I think... I don't know. Maybe it wasn't quite trim, but I had no pitch authority there. I don't know. I've definitely landed an aeroplane as hard as that in real life. I'm just going to ignore chat for the next 2 minutes. Usual banter flowing in here. But what an approach. And this is default, you know, and it looks great. I know, it was a gust. Yeah, big gust. A big gust. Right, let's have a look at the taxi charts, which I didn't even brief. Look at the shadows from the mountains here as well. Right, you're going to vacate at Zulu, taxi, on to stand via Lima. There we are. What would that have felt like in the cabin? It's hard to match a number like that with a feeling. Yes, it would have been a firm one, but fine. The aircraft can take 500 feet per minute. No problem. But yeah, it would have been I'll upload that on YouTube. The song is very apt. It does say staying alive. Not likely an Alpaca Airways Dash 8 to Lugano. Damn it. I nearly thought about bogering as well. I did after touchdown thinking, right, I want another go at this, but I was like, well, nah, I'm down. Oh dear, that was hard. I will try that again. Look at the what the trees doing. They're dancing in the music. But I do love the shadows of the train. Very nice in the sim. Right. I'm not looking at chat right now. Right, I'll clean up. Flaps coming up. Spoilers are up as well. Beautiful. The shadows doing on the mountains are getting a bit weird. Is that the sun moving? I could go to taxi. I'm not going to start the APU. Not needed. Take the next right. Exactly, Matthew Choi. That's exactly what I was trying to get from carrier landing. Exactly. Yeah, I ran out of pitch authority. I put the stick all the way back and nothing happened. Was I a bit slow over the threshold, perhaps? Don't know. We'll watch the replay. Great scenery for stock. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't wasted. I think the one with Dash 8 speed was wasted, right? But it's more difficult. It's not easy to land in X-Plane because it is more realistic, you know. I feel if I did that in the ATI, I would have been having no problems. Right, that'll do. Parking brake is set. Let's have a little look here at the cleanup then. Passengers definitely want to get off there after landing. So control lock, that can come on. Transponder to standby. Weather radar I've not used today. Standby. Flaps are up, they can come off as can the yaw damper, so tanks off, standby power system, hydraulic pressure can come off as well, put this to red, position lights can come off as well, landing and taxi lights off too, windshield heat off, and the repeat off as well. AP not required. Pedostatic switches are off. Main bus tie to tie. Where are you? There we go. And we'll now feather the props. There we are. Leave that 30 seconds. Perfect, brakes on, power levers, 30 seconds, we're waiting now. Look, it's not bent! Wheelchair check is complete. No! Yeah, I think that's what happened, Bill. Did I chop the power? I think that might have been my downfall. Right, that's about 30 seconds. Isn't it? There we are. Fuel off. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the first ever time on a live stream to Lugano. Microsoft Flight Sim habits, yeah. See, in the ATR, you can get away with that. You can just cut the power and it just doesn't sort of sink. Oh dear. Say hello to Flying Jackal. Oh, he's here. One of the devs here. Ah, excellent. Let's have a look here. Spitfire props in discard or spine in disc ejected. Right, I'm going to read some of these mean comments. Oh, look at this shutdown. What do you think of the Dash 8? Maybe some of you are new, haven't tried to explain it. It's just a wicked add-on. Local chiropractor thanks you for the business anymore. Flying Jackal's one of the devs. Here he is, Flying Jackal. Hello, that's one good-looking plane. He says, excellent. Thank you very much for the updated copy as well. It was great to have flown it again today. Love it. Hopefully we'll get more updates. And when are you releasing the classics? The X-Plane 12. That's what we want to know. Everyone wants to know. Thought the position light. What else we got here then? I thought the position light was called Posh for a minute. Not quite. Landing was great, a lot better than my attempt. Well, thank you, Craig Maddox, who gets it. No, not easy. Don't think there's anyone left well enough to clap. Thank you, Hoo Chum, anymore. Clapping came from the heads hitting the ceiling, said Antonio. Gosh, yeah, hold on. I've got one for you. Yeah, anymore. Carry landing complete. Aha, said Gabriel. Well done. Just a snapping of backs. Yep, anymore. Landing wasn't wasted, but the pilot might have been, said Brett. Oh, very, very funny. It wasn't one of these.
Exotic butters.
No. Ouch, is there a doctor on board, said Craig as well. Well, he wasn't just giving praise, he was dishing out as well. Would defo appear on 3 minutes of aviation? I was like, what's that? Passengers didn't clap after that one anymore. Can we replay on the gear view? Yes, we can, Joshua Reap. Absolutely. Oh, dear. Thank you, Alexander Wood. Not a bad effort, Captain. Yes, Crash 8, not the Crash 8. That's all I was doing here. There we are. Look, cones are out. Mega add-on. We can unload the passengers as well. You can do it properly, so it does it in a very realistic way. You can then get the next sector loaded up with the fuel. It's a great little utility, this EFB. Hopefully some other well-known developers will add EFBs in the future, but the functionality is super cool in here. I'm just going to use the fast unload. Look, you can see the gear all changing. Actual loading is modelled here, which is really, really cool. Right then, I don't really want to see the replay, but I think I've got no choice, have I? I'm going to have to do it. Right, let me turn off Fly Live, get the funky replay music ready. I don't need to do anything. I think I could just go straight into the replay, which is great about Explain. Cheers, Insane Base. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Oh, I should have bogered and then done another butter. Right, let's have a look then. Oh, dear. Oh, I think the sim might have crashed. Oh no, I really wanted to see it. No, it was working fine on the test sectors. No, it's done it. Oh, you're joking. Oh, guys, I'm really sorry. It has crashed. I didn't Alt F4. I genuinely wanted to watch it. It does this in Explain occasionally. The 12. When you drag it, it just comes... it happens, yeah. I clicked that on... No, I'm always pressing that button and dragging it. Yes, we believe that. I know... Oh dear, yeah, sus. I know. Sussy, sus. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Great stream regardless of the convenient crash, thank you. Well, guys, I'm very sorry about that. Maybe I should have put my camera on so you can see I didn't Alt F4 it. Unbelievable, you lot. I tell you what, because we've got a bit of time and we considered doing a go around there, would you like me to load in to do a quick encore if I stick it on a 10-mile final like we did last time and see if I could do better on the second attempt? That way you guys will be appeased. Alright, I'll do it. I've got a bit of time left. What is it? Yeah, hour 52. Yes, alright, alright. Encore. Shout encore in chat. Encore in chat. Let me turn this replay music off there. We'll put on something a bit jazzy in the background. Let's go with a bit of this. And let me load in Explain 12. Unbelievable. Things I do for my subscribers. Do it the 7.3 impossible. Right, loading in now. And I will pop it. Maybe I could do a sort of visual circuit. If I put it on runway 01 on the threshold, take off, do a bit of a visual circuit and go from there. I think it saves all the ILS and courses and things like this in the FlyJSim.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
Brilliant. Ramplumpan, thanks for the 24 months. Sure, it crashed. Yep, excellent. Thanks for 24 months. 2 years. Alpaca badge for you. Thanks, buddy, for the support all that time. I'm Sofa King Stupid. Thank you very much for joining as a member. Glad you enjoy the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. I hope you enjoy the custom emojis in chat. Thank you very much for the support. Right, what's this code again? LSZA, Lugano, that's the one. Right, 01, confirm. Or should I just stick it on 10 miles? I could do that in the mod, no problem. But this aircraft, the weights will all be off. Oh, what's the worst? No, because it's going to put me in the ground, isn't it? I'll put it on the runway, guys, and do a little circuit. Right. Yeah, there should be enough daylight. Clear is what we need for active sky. Oh yeah, engine's running. Right, I don't know how this will work. What we got going on here in chat? Yes, welcome aboard. I'm Sofa King Stupid. Glad to join the content. Members only Discord. Enjoy the customers in chat. Thank you very much for the support. You lot, Rob G, more wheelchairs. Let me get some thick pillows. Unbelievable. Saffron, yes, I will show you the explain settings. I'll do that as soon as it's loaded in. Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Tor 4x4 for the $8 as well. He said encore.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Thank you very much,
10.
buddy. Let's see how Microsoft Jim says this.
Encore.
Very excited, clearly. Thank you very much, Tor 4x4. Appreciate it, thank you. Oh dear. It's going to be a hell of a high circuit, yeah. Because if I sort of do a 2,000 foot circuit height, we're going to intercept the ILS in about 2 miles. Encore, absolutely. Right. It's learning in all this lovely ortho and the aircraft. I've got to do better. I'm not going to get a butter, but if I can just get an I want an adequate or whatever it is there. Right. Let's see what's what here. Right, ILS is tuned. 017 identified. I'm pretty yeah, well it's got a course on there. And it is active 1089. Is that the ILS frequency? Just double check here. Yes it is, 1089. Right, so what we're gonna do is sort of fly a 2,000 foot circuit. Don't worry about terrain and things like that. There's a few other things I just need to set. Oh look, it's all sort of left it as it was. That's great. 35 standard, max RPM set. I'm going to go flap 5, get some speeds for us. Set the Q and look, it's all there as it was. That's great. Where's the click spot for the speeds? There's the V speeds. We're not going to load anything. We're going to hand fly this. We're going to just whack on the weight we had before. So 78. Fuel. That's about how much fuel we had. It's exactly how much fuel we had. Load summary. Confirm next load. Oh, that's. I think we're alright. I think we're alright. Okay. Let's set 2,000 feet here. Wish me the best of luck. I've never hand flown a circuit in this aircraft, but I just want to try and butter it, that's all. Right. I think we're all good. Let's move this to flight. Oops. Oh, I've done both of them. There we are, both at flight idle. Parking brake set, that's set to flight. I think auto feather, thank you. On. Okay, let's give it a go. Tokens in chat then. Wish me luck. Brakes released. Oh, let me give you a bit of a yoke cam. I've never flown this aircraft before, so in a circuit, so do bear with me. I've not even set any trim. I'm not even comfortable. 80 knots. V1, rotate. Make sure you don't go above 8 degrees on the ground, otherwise you'll tail strike. Gears up. Cool, yeah, you don't want to climb straight ahead to 2000 in IMC. What a heck of an add-on. I'll leave the RPM set to max. There's 2,000 feet. I'll maintain 180 knots in the turn here. Landing aeroplane, pitch and power, but I have no idea what the power settings are for this, but attitude to maintain 2,000s. What here, a couple of degrees?
Terrain.
That's probably quite accurate. I'll inhibit it. Better look out the window. Yes, terrain. Might be a few complaints from some rich Swiss individuals here. Let's watch that angler bag. So go downwind. Got a bit of a headwind now. It's a little bit high. And we'll configure on the downwind leg. We'll get round this little mountain first. Well, I say little, it's humongous. Oops, watch my height. Alright, when I say downwind, we might have to go a little bit higher here. Let's climb to 3,000 feet. Because there's a mountain in the way. Up to flight rating. God, look at the performance of this. It's great. I'm obviously bleeding off a bit of energy here from the airspeed to help the climb. Oh, there's 3,000. Oh yeah, 3,000 doesn't come up very clearly, does it? On the airspeed, on the altimeter. It's not like it doesn't have a hatchet or anything. Right, there's 3,000. Get that trimmed out. Ortho looks great, doesn't it? Probably should have turned the track IR on. There we go. That's what we need. Not track IR. Ooh. Right, let's start actually slowing down. See, when you're in an aircraft like this, I actually prefer it more for VFR flying, I think, now. Gear down. Flap 15. That's moaning at me because of the gear. What's our distance here? 4 miles. Just going to maintain 3,000 feet here. Full flap. Gear. Might not be a great idea in this aeroplane. There is a mountain. I'm just going to clip over the top of that. We're on the glide slope, look at that. Need to start descending. That's why it's a 6-degree path. Okay, keep descending, stay on that glide path.
Sync rate.
Yes.
500.
Right, well, hold on. I've completely screwed that up. I thought the interceptor. I thought it was over there, but there's the lake. I just did a very, very steep turn onto the base lake there. Look at the terrain. So we're going to go on to like a 2-mile final, guys. We're on the path. Glideslope probably wouldn't work accurately like it is now. So 2 reds, 2 whites. Keep it descending now. Watch that glide path as well. Don't want to get too low here. 2 reds, 2 whites. 3 whites, descend. I've not set my speeds, have I? That'll do. Right, a bit more trim now. Right, keeping the power on this one, guys. 3 reds. Keep descending. Don't get too low though. Speed. Do not chop the power. Do not chop the power. Do not chop the power.
Sink rate.
Chasing a cloud, look.
Sink rate.
50,
Start flaring
40,
now.
30, 20, 10.
Oh, god damn it! No! Going around! What is going on? Flaps to 15, whatever the flap setting is for a go around in this thing. Flap 5, I think. What? No, I'm going again. What did I do wrong? Right, same again. Unfortunately, it's a really awkward circuit. I'm not looking at chat. I'm not looking at chat. Until I get a green, if it's adequate, good, or butter. How much fuel have I got left? 1,200 kilos? Go all day. Gonna go to 3,000. So you still had no power, 4% up. Right, I think I still took the power off too early. Is that what? Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm just chopping the back. I'm fighting every instinct I have, guys. Like, I find the 737 for 12 years. That's all I know. Right, I'm leaving. Right, I'm dropping the gear. I'm going to leave it fully configured. We're going dirty. 150 knots for this. 25-degree angular bank, 3,000. Height. Thing is, every time you add power, it balloons up. Because of all that increase in lift. Which is really nicely modelled. One of the things I really like about the Dash 8. You add always power, the airplane just goes, whoop, balloons up. Hope you're all doing well. Click thumbs up, yeah. And Rob G, I missed my connection now. Yeah, all these passengers going up and down and round. Guys, we're not getting down. You might have broken all of your limbs by the time you get off, but you will experience a smooth landing with Alpaca Airways today. Right, tad high. I'm quite happy with my visual circuit though. Can't see much. There's the airport down there. Right, I do a slightly better turn onto base leg here. It hand flies really nicely. A few more landings, you'll be certified for Lugano. What was that? What was my 2 now? Minus 500. I'm going to enjoy timestamping this video. Not. Leaving power in the flares against every instinct. I know. I know. I'm going to land with power. Actually, am I right in thinking that some guys do land with power? You need it with flat 35. So 3,000 feet, 150 knots, nicely in trim. There's the threshold. Well, the circuit's looking a lot better. The Glideslope jumping up and down. That's pretty cool. We're not within its DOC, so it does that in real life. If you're outside of its sort of area of operational coverage, there's no decent signal. Yeah, this is a sketchy circuit we're doing again. There's a Glideslope going past. So we're fully configured, gear, flaps, the whole lot. Thanks for your donation. It won't come through Touring 4x4 in this view, but I will ping them after I go to the other one. But thank you very much. Right, before I fly into that mountain, let's look backwards here. Okay, I think if we start turning now and make it a descending turn. Okay, there's the Glideslope coming in, so we'll just sort of arrest that rate of descent now, because otherwise we'll get low. Just do a 30-degree angular bank turn. Keep the Glideslope where it is. That is one gnarly Glideslope. I'm doing 1,000 feet per minute, but it's still coming towards me. Two reds, 2 whites. Can't teach it. Can't teach it. 3 whites. Right. Oh, I accidentally retracted the flaps there. Oh, speed, 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 speed. I think we've got a little bit too much speed here. I'm idle. Right, there we are. Slight crossing for the right. We've got headwind as well, that's going to help. Right, I'm having to go idle, so I'm going to have to add power, even though I'm fast. Ugh. Speed control wasn't as good. Right, speed's going back, so get ready to add that power. Come on! This is the one. This is the one. 3 reds.
Sync rate.
Check. Feeding that power. Keep sending. This is the one. I don't mind floating a little.
Sync rate.
Checked.
Sync rate.
Checked.
Sync rate.
Checked.
Sync rate.
Checked.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh yeah! Look at that! Not a putter, but it's so close. Oh, wonderful! Oh, guys, if you just tuned in, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lugano from Rome Ciampino. I must remove the last 20 minutes of video, and we've arrived. Better brake before I go off the end of the runway, though. Oh yeah, boy! Oh yes! Oh, superb! Oh, excellent! What a lovely flight! Completely uneventful from Rome Ciampino. Nothing went wrong at all. Let's edit 15-20 minutes. And we'll taxi now onto stand. Yes, what do you think of the Dash 8 Q400 on first try? No wonder you're the chief pilot of Alpaca Airways. It's absolutely black dog, it's it. Oh, this proves you're a real pilot first time. Oh, unbelievable.
50, 40,
Thanks, Dora
30,
4x4. Here's your
20,
donation coming through.
10.
I bet the replay will work this time.
Back to FO for you.
Unbelievable. Thank you. Back to FO. I've got no words. Thank you very much for your donation again there. Oh, taxi on the stand was shut down. That was a lovely replay. Oh yeah, I remember you don't have to drag it, right? I just got reminded. It came to my mind. Genuinely, guys, I didn't mean to do that. That would have been the end of the stream. But we've got to... Oh, that was so close to butt it. If I buttered it, I would have been so happy. Oh, we got it in, though. That was great. Just need to edit that a little bit out. Excellent. Oh, I'm cutting corners. I'm just so excited. What a landing. I'm joking, Thomas. I'm joking. Has Dash made it to Microsoft Flight Simulator? Not yet. Not yet. What a lovely airplane. We'll go to the same stand. Right, flaps coming up. Taxi. What a challenge that approach is. You can see why you can't just fly in here. You've got to do training. Park exactly where we were. I mean, on my practice sector. We'll go 32. 32 is my lucky number. Everyone's commenting about the replay. But I do remember someone saying, yeah, if you grab the draggy thing, it does sometimes crash, doesn't it? Right, as I have already done a shutdown, guys, we'll taxi on stand here. And set the parking brake. Right. I'll leave the engines running, okay. What a racket. Oh, I just want to read some of your hilarious comments before we jump into the replay, though. Rob G, your false teeth stayed in this time. Well done. Rab H, ATR now was realistic. Wonder if the replay will work this time. I saw that, Josh Hicks. That'll buff out. Are you talking about some potential earlier landings? Who chip? Matthew Presley, first two landing exactly what it looks like when the chief pilot flies the light. Pretty much. Lots of comments about the replay. Great first landing. That is how you do it. Absolutely. Brace, brace. Much better. Mega. Excellent. That was the one. That was the one we wanted to see. How about Lukla? We've done it, Lukla, in the Twin Otter. In the Twin Otter. Right, anyway, I'll turn down this music here. And the funky replay music again. Oh, it's not working now. Oh, please work. There we go. Oh, it's because it's turned down. What? Hold on. There we go. Right. Alt-R. Don't drag it. I'm going to use the rewind feature just to see that first landing. I haven't got the time to rewind it to the second attempt. We'll just have to see the last one, guys. Where's Will? Brilliant. So funny. A wee. Right, we'll just watch from the threshold. Why did it just not do that on the first one? Replay mode is secretly working for it, but I'm not using the draggy arrow thing. Whee! It's quite funny. Right, let's have a look at this bad boy. Oh,
Sink rate, sink rate, sink rate.
right.
Sink rate.
Let me just crank up the sounds here, guys, because it's epic. I'll put it really loud. Watch out, headphone users. Oh, it just looks so great. Fully stable. Botter incoming. Oh! Working flawlessly, the replay tool now. Let's have a look at the landing from this perspective. God, it is steep, isn't it? Mad respect for the boys and girls landing here. Started flaring at about 50 feet. Sounds on this are super, aren't they? Excellent. Looks great as well. Centre line was spot on. I didn't want to say so myself. I did at one point get a little concerned as I'd forgotten about braking. Let's have a look at that centre line. I was quite happy with my visual circuits as well. Oh yes. Would have you stood there though, would you? Oh. Oh, the touchdown. Yeah, I've watched a lot of landings though. A lot of guys land long on that. I think it's pretty hard to dance down the pappies. Let's do the tower. Looks wonderful. Oh, excellent. Yeah, this sim's really nice. I really like it. Company message for FlyJSim: don't bother turning up for the next flight. Unbelievable. Right, we've got to do the gear view, haven't we? We've got to do the gear view. Right, let me turn this down here. That's the one you want to see. Oh, wonderful. I'll crank it back a little bit here. Oh, look at this. Oh, of course I did the circuit, didn't we? We've got to do it from base leg. Right, let's go from there. Guys, that's it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in for this impromptu stream from Rome Ciampino to Lugano in Switzerland. Epic approach. Go try it out in your favourite desktop aeroplane. Love the Dash 8 in X-Plane 12. I think the ATR, you can do it. I think they just need to make it a little bit draggier perhaps, but try it out as well. Some great aeroplanes you can fly into this approach. To everyone that viewed today, thank you very much. Enjoyed the banter at the end as well, especially. Keep it coming in. To all the people that donated, thank you very much for your generosity. To all the members, for your continued support as well. For all the regular viewers and subscribers, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, though, to stay up to date with the latest content. And going to have one more day off tomorrow, no stream planned, back to work, but I do have a couple of standbys next week. So based on whether I get called or not, we might jump back into the Fearless 747 or something else. Look after yourselves. For those in the UK, enjoy the rest of the bank holiday weekend, and I'll see you all very soon. Very good day.